Well, great morning, everyone. Ruffle shuffle the cards and we'll pull the cards and do an open read and just see what it has to say for today. Oh, my goodness. On the good note, today is Guru Purnima. So that's the positive thing. If you are on a spiritual path, today is the day to honor your spiritual leader and to rededicate yourself to your spiritual path. So that's a good happening today. We do need some of the good. We are going through really the difficult times here. But this difficult time is definitely going to bring change. So let's look and see what we have. So the first card out is about things being overturned, hung upside down, on pause. Also could be sacrifices or seeing from different viewpoints. But let's look and see what our other cards are, and so we can put this in perspective. It's about what's being given out, okay? So what is being given out today? Concrete things being handed. And where this is moving to, things in motion. So the energy coming into it is about a manipulation, a change. Let's see what our other cards are. A message being put out, more information, okay? Message about the mentality, it's a mental realm as well, and compassion, looking at things, taking the lid off and seeing what's there, where this is moving to, what's being handed out, the messages, and trying to, what is this, a sacrifice, overturning? We'll continue on and see if it will tell us. So today is about strength. Strength. Strength to come forward for a victory. Okay. A change, strength. And we have the Hierophant. So the spiritual aspect, okay. So next we have the challenge is about judgment, having the right judgment. When it comes to the life path, okay, and getting the best, having the best around you with your life path, seeing what's of value, holding on to what's of value.
Okay, I found this on the web for what's the value, holding on to what's the value.
What the heck is this stupid phone? Potential outcome is new. The new cup coming in. New cup. When it comes to the painful truth, mentality, and what's being worked on. And outside influence, controlling an action, taking action, when it comes to sharing of the dark dramas, okay? The dark dramas. So controlling the action and sharing about the dark dramas. So let's go ahead and see if we can break this down. Foundation is moving forward, compassion, looking at the higher elements of spirituality, the keys, wanting the keys, so that you can surround yourself with the best that you have, okay, working on it. So we have what's being handed out, a message about a victory with your life path when it comes to the difficult things that you're dealing with, the things that have laid you down, the mental dramas, okay? Perhaps sacrifices along the way, seeing from a different viewpoint. When it comes to manipulation or it comes to wanting to make a massive change, to strengthen your judgment with a new cup, seeing from a better viewpoint, okay? So the very center of this reading is about a victory. Strengthening your spirituality leads to a victory. It's a message about your life path, the choices you're making. The judgments about compassion will aid you in your spiritual path to a victory, and about making these massive changes to surround yourself with the things that you have of value, okay? So the message being put out is about what's being handed to you that would bring you to a victory, about the changes being made of compassion, bringing in more compassion, about the sacrifices maybe being made on your spiritual path and seeing from a different viewpoint, going forward to strengthen yourself through the messages being given. The life path, there is a victory overcoming the mental restrictions, the things that you put on yourself, the difficulties that you've encountered along the way, and judgment on your life path about the things that you have in gratitude, the things that you see that are of wealth to you. It doesn't necessarily mean monetary, but the things of value that you surround yourself with, and strengthening the things you're working on, and bringing in a new cup for spirituality, for your life path, okay? So this today is about the spiritual paths. Being Guru Purnima, that makes sense, that would be a reading that would come out. So strengthening your spiritual path, your walk. Again, looking at the actions controlled being shared when it comes to the dark drama and how to overcome it, okay? Overcoming the dark drama, breaking through. Looking at the changes being made. Now, a lot of people think that the magician is the big thing, but that's the ego wanting to change, So, yeah, I don't see it as the highest thing in the deck. It can be many times smoke and mirrors, manipulation. So let's go ahead and we'll do a clarifying read and look and see what it says. But this is about a positive, bringing things in that are going to benefit. So at the very center of it, we have the message about actions. A message about actions. When it comes to planting the seeds, what kind of harvest do you want? Okay? If you're unhappy with the harvest, not liking the harvest, dissatisfied, then you need to change the action. Plant different seeds. You're only going to grow what kind of seed you're planting. Are you planting positivity or are you planting negativity? Okay? So there is an agreement. This is also in the emotional realm and the message of actions, and again, the concrete things we're doing to make changes along the way. So when I see this, I'm feeling like this is also the collective. When you have this agreement, emotional agreement, message about actions, if we don't like the harvest, then we need to change it collectively. Okay. The fight going forward, charging forward in the mental realm, so continuing rapidly to put out the things that we need to do to strengthening the collective. Okay, strengthening the collective. So we have to be mindful of the actions and the things that we continue to hold. The hidden things. Okay? What's being hidden? It's about lovers. It's about coming together. Okay? Coming together as a collective. If we want to bring this out, then again, the path is through that dynamic of compassion and love in the collective. These are the life choices being made. Now we have the ability to make changes along the way. We have free will. And again, this is the path of democracy, the path of continuing to hold the emotions. But this is also the one that I see for the spiritual realm. Okay? The spiritual realm, if you are strengthening the collective with the messages like of Yeshua ben Joseph or Buddha, whatever one that you are going with, okay, that higher element, holding on to that in your life path, bringing that into your life path fully, okay. When it comes to the emotions, when it comes to the things and the other elements, could be the psychic awareness, being open in that realm of those emotions and what's taking place. Okay. Sometimes there is that not wanting to see, just dissatisfaction, emotional dissatisfaction. But you have to look and see the things that you have of value around yourself rather than this emotional dissatisfaction. Change it to having gratitude for what you do have, replacing that negative with the positive. So, and it comes from the higher awareness, the guidance, okay, Hierophant, the guidance, spiritual guidance. When it comes to things from the past, being offered up, emotions from the past, etc. Figuring out your next move. What action are you going to take when it comes to these darker elements of drama that we encounter along the way? About blocking some things. Sometimes you block and you don't want to encounter that shadow side, that drama, okay? And you want justice, okay? And you're sitting there with all of these things raining down on you. The things, now these, I see this as the illusions of truth, things that you believe that are not true, but are really wreaking havoc with your life. So wanting to block the negative, wanting justice, but carrying on with these illusions of truth, okay? And so you need to rather take control of the actions and understand what's being handed out to you on a daily basis that affects your world, okay? So that you can charge forward and make the changes that need to be made, okay? These changes, again, illusions of truth. The magician is what? About illusion, okay? So these illusions, you need to come to the point of the Tower moment, which is the ego drama imploding, exploding, so that you can come to the absolute truth and develop that new cup of compassion and love. So you need to confront these things and see what is weighing you down. Come from false beliefs that you're holding, that you're giving energy to, which are causing your difficulty. So you got to be willing to open up to here and to look at it rather than blocking. I just want to block the negative. Well, you've got to look at the negative and find out that it doesn't have the power. It only has the power that you give it. Okay? So again, you've got to be willing to look at this and not give it any more energy in fear mode and drama mode, letting it rule over you in an unproductive way. If you go ahead and follow it and you pull out that, again, and you plant new seeds, you get rid of the weeds that are there, then it takes you to realization of knowing just what is there prior to the ego drama, okay? Ego wants to control, okay? Ego wants to control. But the ego has to implode into that divine is, and then the rest of that is washed away. But it takes that path of continuing to go forward and make the sacrifices needed to continue to go forward in your path. So on that note, I'll leave that here, and we'll see you online.